Let me bring on. Hey, Anesh, there you are. How's it going?
Doing good. So nice to see
Doing.
the live stream going.
Yeah. So we're. Okay, I can do math. Almost 4 hours in.
Yes.
Confession. I've never done a live stream longer than like an hour. Um,
Hmm.
in podcasts and stuff, 60 minutes is usually where I kind of top off. I was supposed to get a bathroom break maybe 30 minutes ago, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit. I think I had too much coffee earlier in the day. So if you see me doing the shuffle up here, I apologize, but you didn't want to know that. Man, Anesh, tell me your story a little bit. Like tell the audience your story. How'd you get connected here?
Oh, that's great. Thanks for having me here, first of all, and I'm really happy to be associated with Church Digital. Quickly speaking, I'm from India. I moved to US 2 years ago. This is my third year. Back in the time, during the time of COVID, like when I was in a transition period in ministry after working for 20 years in the ministry, starting as a grassroots level missionary, and God lifting me up to different positions, going all the way managing ministry in the national level. One day, God challenged me with the world demographics. So, He was talking to me about how many people in the world are connected to the internet through the digital world. And that really amazed me because I never thought about that in that magnitude. So, I could clearly hear and sense the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord impressing me about the number of people who are connected online but who are yet to know about Jesus. And that really blew me away. Yes, that's true. We never think about that. We were always thinking about, okay, how the church can do a live stream, how can the church do some post the messages online and have some social media posts in the Facebook. But the strategy behind it was not the primary thing because we are only trying to get things done to satisfy the current need. When I think of those numbers, that really mesmerized me. But God challenged me, Anish, who will go to these people? The
Mm-hmm.
pastors are very busy. I mean, they are overburdened taking care of the current congregation and running the church. But what about people who do not have the opportunity or do not even thought of coming into a church? Like they are still connected online, and the statistics about Google search says, okay, most of the time people go to Google searching for answers to their problems, whereas the answers are available in the Bible. So who will present to them? And so, in short, like being available in the place where people are searching for answers or solutions to their problems. So, that is what the Lord challenged me. And I said, yes, I'll go to it, and started learning about digital uh, um, technologies, how we can be present, and SEO and other stuff. And later, I felt, okay, how about training a lot of young people so that they can be helpful for the church as well as they can be uh, digital freelancers, or they can utilize their profession as a marketplace missionary to reach out to a wider crowd. And I felt the need to launch a learning platform, and it has to be a digital online skill university. I felt okay having such an enormous vision planted in US could help us reach out to the global audience. That's how I had the conviction of moving to uh, uh, moving to US. Yeah, so that's how I'm here. But here, when I am here, I started doing my research here at Northwest University. That's where I met Angela Craig, and she connected me uh, to you because she found, okay, there are a lot of common things between us and you, and
Yeah.
that's how I'm here.
I love that. What you've been such a great asset for us. One, helping us understand India culture. We went to Lausanne Congress just real briefly. The Church Digital was invited to go. Lausanne Congress was started by Billy Graham. Lausanne organization. It's a missions organization globally. 6,000 people from 161, 170 countries, I think. It's a ridiculous number of people represented there. And Lausanne invited us to go to represent digital missionaries, digital church planting. And so we went and had I mean, literally 500 conversations with missionaries that were interested in digital, doing this, and by far the majority of them were Indian. I had more conversations with Indian people than any other nationality. Now it was really interesting. The reason a lot of them are coming was they were concerned about persecution, upcoming persecution, trying to figure out how to do church digitally. I saw as we were talking about this, I saw like Indian men cry at the aspect of being able to use digital to extend their reach beyond what they could do physically. And oops, he just disconnected. Hopefully he comes back. I'll keep an eye on it. But it was really, I think his phone bottomed out. Yeah, he's coming back. It was fascinating to see how um, how these
I
people
think
were thinking. And then really, and that's how these Indian missionaries in Korea were thinking about digital. And then, Anesh coming along and helping educate us on some of the culture and the contextualizations for us interacting with them, helping us connect with Ebenezer, the guy that we're talking to about creating the outpost for us in Southeast Asia. Like it's been a blessing to have Anesh come on, and now Anesh is helping us do some research with the Church Digital. It was interesting. We were talking with Eric Swanson earlier, and he kept mentioning global media outreach. It's a massive global organization that has an incredible digital strategy, and we're working with them and with other global organizations on doing a research project centered around digital discipleship and evangelism. And so we're going to get more into those conversations later. Anesh, like, I know you're going through EDM now, and you're seeing like some of that with Jason Morris, equipping digital missionaries cohort, and you're seeing some of the Southeast Asian, Indian, some of the others interacting with that. How is it going? Tell me a little bit about that cohort specifically, and what you're experiencing and what they're experiencing in there.
okay. EDM is a great start. It's a great program. We are just got into the fourth week. Today we had a huddle. When we were talking about asynchronous, like this is a perfect demonstration how asynchronous community can be. Because all along we are used to synchronous groups and forums, but this is such a great demonstration and an experience where we could watch videos like micro videos and take our own time to process, understand, assimilate, and then come out with your own thoughts. And it's also a great forum where you could meet people from different parts of the world, but with similar thought set and passion, and for establishing the kingdom of God through digital means. So literally, that is something that I'm enjoying, and is also opening our eyes to the challenges that we could face when we are customizing this program to the local context, and
Yeah.
whether it is a technical stuff or the mindset, preparing the mindset of people, or the challenges with respect to people's availability, or what has to be stressed and what should be mellowed down, and so on. So that's really going great. And you having that vision of EDM, equipping digital missionaries, I really appreciate that.
Give me an example. You're talking about localization, contextualization, adapting it. Um, like, and you live in America, obviously, India background native. You're over here doing research studies. Um, so you understand both cultures. What's an example of something that would be contextualized different to do India digital missionaries compared to like what you're seeing in America?
I would say a couple of things. Like I've been in digital space for more than almost 20 years now, starting with email, website, and face social media and WhatsApp. And of late, WhatsApp has become really popular in India, and Instagram is equally good. So when we say contextualization, like something that I saw in the beginning, Discord is pretty famous here, and in US people were using Discord a lot, whereas Discord is not so popular in India. So that is on the tech side.
Yeah.
Number two, so the videos that we bring out, when we talk about the platforms, we need to contextualize the platforms that is relevant to the local context. There may be places where Telegram is really popular. The Telegram is much, much more trusted by people than WhatsApp. Then we need to look at, okay, how we can explore Telegram and all the benefits Telegram brings along, including automation. So WhatsApp is just growing, and early days, like there are limitations in WhatsApp group. Now WhatsApp has come out with channels, and how do we use that? Second thing, like when we say, okay, what do we mean by presenting the gospel, or how do we build asynchronous communities in different countries, different contexts? Like that might be places where people are really not comfortable with asynchronous because they feel disconnected. For me, like it has to be a live chat, so I feel connected. But when it is asynchronous, I feel kind of disconnected because I do not know what the other person is thinking when I have time to assimilate. And
Yeah.
suddenly, after a few hours, when I come, I see some responses, but that I may be busy, so I may miss out some important points. In those kind of situations, uh, through digital platforms, but connecting at the same time, giving space for everybody to share their thoughts may be much more useful. So these are all few things that I think as examples for contextualization. Coming to the message, okay, there is no second option because the message is the same, the gospel is the same, Jesus is the
Yeah.
same. But how do we apply to people can vary about the family situations, what kind of examples we give. When we talk about lifestyle in US, lifestyle in other countries can be different from lifestyle in India. And even in India, we have different cultures, different people groups, different language groups. So we need to consider all those things, language, culture, and people's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Does it make
S-
sense?
Totally. Somebody told me, I don't know if it's an accurate stat, it was just quoted, but there's 1,800 different dialects in India
Yes,
alone, something like
officially,
that. And man,
but
go ahead.
more than that.
Oh, that's the official number, but unofficially, like it's even more
Yeah,
graphic.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and
And the
so
faith background also is very, very diverse. Like we have
mhm.
thousands of faith backgrounds.
Man, and so that's such a need, and that's such an opportunity for us to for the church digital to find and equip people to be a missionary in that space, and equip the missionaries to multiply, to not only build relationships, establish trust, to share Jesus, but even to the level of discipling digitally, and mobilizing this out digitally. And so like it's our desire to find somebody like Ebenezer, who wasn't available for today's stream, but to find somebody like that can oversee the region, that can now start
Yes,
to you mobilize and equip and train other missionaries in that context. I'll say it all day long. How in the
mm,
world is a white guy with a beard, bald in Miami, Florida, supposed to understand 1,800 dialects in India alone? That's the official. That's the official number. That's not unofficial. It's more than that. There's no way to do that. And so the idea of trying to do anything mass at a global scale is not going to work. But the ability to do small, reproducible, scalable, adaptable, contextualizable, digital, you're going to see that work in a big way. And so, man, Anesh, you've been a life send for us. As we're talking about adapting into Southeast Asia, helping us do that. Man, we didn't even get much into the research of what you're doing as well, and a lot of that's to be determined. It's wet cement, but we'll on the project right now. We've got we've got a project coming up. Yeah, it's if you look at thechurch.digital/give, there's a project down there. It's a Lausanne project. We're actually trying to find funding for it, something like $5,000 to get started,
mm,
to work with some of these global missions organizations to help us get started with the this research to basically work with some of these global organizations to validate this idea of digital missions happening in asynchronous community. And that's just like, I respect that. Hey, you know what, Jeff? The async, for me, it's not really a connector. And it's doesn't have to be for everybody, but it's well enough to be enough for some people to make it worthwhile. And that's the thing that we're seeing is that the what we're seeing unofficially, and what I would suspect we'll see officially once through the research, is that the percentage of people that will engage longer via asynchronous to build the relationship to get to the point of trust to actually have the conversation is going to go faster. And that's really the heart of this research. We're going to talk about that with Josh from Power to Change crew in Australia
Hmm.
later today. But man, Anesh, thanks for jumping on this. I want to ask two questions as we're wrapping up here. Number one, and we're asking this of everybody, just everybody that's on the stream today. Um, can missions be digital?
Yes, very much. Because digital is the future where people spend a lot of time more than being connected physically. Digital has to be, missions has to be in the digital space.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's interesting. Missions has to be in digital space. Like it's the at Lazon, we were talking about it being the largest unreached people group. The
Hmm.
ability to tap into that. No offense to like the regions that are, more officially, but it's this undiscovered asset for the kingdom that it's blue ocean. It's ready to go. Somebody just needs
Hmm.
to go and be that. Number two question: um, where to go? Can the church exist digitally?
Yes, very much. When we say missions has to be in the digital space, church also has to be in the digital space.
Yeah, it's got to exist in that space to move on. So,
Yep.
Anesh, we got it. We're just steamrolling through here, man. Thanks for jumping on this interview and the time. And I sent you an email like at 1 a.m. last night talking about the research. Actually, I want to get you and Josh together so that we
Hmm.
can more formally brainstorm on this. I've been just
Sure.
side note. It's been stream, for the past
Sure.
week or so, and so
Yeah.
we'll turn the corner and start focusing on the research coming
Sure.
soon.
Yeah. Looking forward
Thank
to.
you,
Thank
sir.
you and wish
Appreciate
you
the
all the
time.
best for the rest of the day. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.